Ladies and gentlemen, today we embark on a journey back in time, to an era where human hands shaped some of the most mysterious and awe-inspiring structures in history, the ancient pyramids. These massive stone monuments, built thousands of years ago, still stand tall, defying time and leaving us with more questions than answers. The pyramids, especially those of Egypt, are more than just tombs. They are engineering marvels, constructed with an accuracy and precision that baffles modern architects and engineers. How could ancient civilizations, without modern technology, achieve such perfection? What methods did they use to move millions of limestone and granite blocks, some weighing over 70 tons? Many theories have been proposed. Some suggest that vast armies of laborers dragged stones across the desert using wooden sleds and ramps. Others believe water-based transport systems or even lost construction techniques played a role. But even with these ideas, many aspects remain unexplained. How did they align these structures so perfectly with celestial bodies? Did they possess knowledge far beyond what we credit them for? Another great mystery lies in the workforce. Were the pyramids built by slaves, as often depicted, or by skilled workers who took pride in their work? Recent discoveries suggest that laborers lived in well-organized communities, raising questions about the true nature of their role. Some researchers speculate that ancient civilizations might have had access to technologies we have yet to understand. Were they using forgotten methods of construction, or perhaps even something more advanced? Could lost records, hidden chambers, or undiscovered tools hold the key? Despite centuries of research, the pyramids continue to challenge our understanding of the past. As we explore, dig, and analyze, new discoveries may one day reveal the true story behind their construction. Until then, the pyramids remain a testament to human ingenuity, ambition, and the enduring mysteries of history. The pyramids, particularly those of ancient Egypt, have stood the test of time, towering above the deserts as symbols of an advanced civilization long past. Among them, the Great Pyramid of Giza is the most famous, one of the 7 wonders of the ancient world, and the only one still standing. But beyond their breathtaking scale and architectural precision, these monuments hold a mystery that has fascinated historians, archaeologists, and researchers for centuries. How were they built? To understand the significance of these structures, we must first recognize their role in the ancient world. The pyramids were not merely tombs for pharaohs. They were spiritual and political symbols of immense power. The ancient Egyptians believed in an afterlife where their rulers, the pharaohs, would continue their reign in another realm. The pyramids were constructed as monumental stairways to the heavens, designed to ensure that the soul of the king could ascend to join the gods. Every detail of their design, from their alignment with celestial bodies to the complex burial chambers hidden within, was intentional and deeply rooted in their religious beliefs. The construction of these pyramids began over 4,500 years ago, at a time when there were no modern cranes, bulldozers, or heavy machinery. Yet, despite these limitations, the Egyptians managed to build structures so precise that, even today, engineers struggle to understand how they were accomplished. The Great Pyramid, for instance, consists of approximately 2.3 million limestone and granite blocks, some weighing as much as 70 tons. These stones were quarried, transported, and positioned with near-perfect alignment to the cardinal points of the compass. Even with modern tools, replicating such precision on such a massive scale would be a daunting challenge. Another fascinating aspect of these pyramids is their sheer endurance. While countless structures throughout history have crumbled due to weathering and natural disasters, the pyramids remain standing. Some experts attribute this to the advanced engineering techniques of the Egyptians, who carefully designed these structures to withstand the test of time. The angled sides of the pyramid shape may have played a role in helping distribute weight and resist erosion. Additionally, the interlocking placement of stones and the use of a strong yet simple construction method helped ensure the stability of these structures over millennia. However, the real mystery is not just about their endurance or grandeur, but the process of their construction. Traditional theories suggest that tens of thousands of laborers, possibly skilled workers rather than slaves, toiled for decades to complete these massive projects. They are believed to have used wooden sleds, rollers, and massive ramps to move the heavy blocks. But despite these explanations, many questions remain. How did they transport the heaviest stones, some of which were sourced from quarries hundreds of miles away? How did they achieve such precision without the technology we take for granted today? The enigma of pyramid construction has given rise to numerous alternative theories. Some researchers speculate that the Egyptians might have used an advanced knowledge of physics, leveraging water or sand in ways we have yet to fully understand. Others propose that there may be lost techniques, forgotten over time, that allowed them to achieve feats we still struggle to comprehend. The pyramids are more than just ancient tombs. They are testaments to human ambition, ingenuity, and a connection to something greater than ourselves. Whether they were built using simple tools and sheer manpower, or by employing sophisticated techniques lost to history, they remain one of the greatest architectural achievements ever known. The pyramids of Egypt are not just ancient structures. They are masterpieces of engineering and architecture that continue to defy explanation. Even in the modern era, with all the advancements in construction, few structures compare to the precision, durability, and sheer scale of these ancient monuments. The Great Pyramid of Giza, in particular, stands as a testament to the skill and ingenuity of the ancient Egyptians, who built something so perfectly designed that it has survived for over 4,500 years. One of the most astonishing aspects of the pyramids is their geometric precision. The Great Pyramid was originally 146.6 meters, 481 feet, tall, making it the tallest man-made structure in the world for nearly 4,000 years, until the construction of medieval cathedrals. Its base covers an area of over 13 acres, and each side of the pyramid is aligned almost perfectly with the cardinal directions, north, south, east, and west. The level of accuracy in this alignment is extraordinary. Modern surveys reveal that the deviation from true north is only a fraction of a degree. How the Egyptians achieved this without compasses or advanced measuring instruments remains one of history's great mysteries. Equally impressive is the consistency in construction. The pyramid is made up of approximately 2.3 million limestone and granite blocks, each weighing between 2.5 and 70 tons. These stones were cut, transported, and placed with such precision that the gaps between them are sometimes less than a millimeter. The interior chambers and passageways, including the King's Chamber and the Grand Gallery, were constructed using massive granite beams that were lifted and placed with seemingly impossible accuracy. Some of these beams weigh up to 80 tons and were brought from Aswan, nearly 500 miles away. The transportation and lifting of such enormous stones remain a subject of intense debate among scholars. Another mystery is the pyramid's resistance to natural forces. Unlike many other ancient structures that have collapsed over time, the pyramids have endured earthquakes, harsh desert conditions, and thousands of years of erosion. This durability is attributed to their construction technique and the unique way the stones were stacked. Unlike modern buildings, which rely on cement or mortar to hold materials together, the pyramids were built using a dry stone method, with each block carefully cut and placed in a way that evenly distributed weight. This method not only provided stability, but also allowed for slight movement, making the structure more resistant to seismic activity. Furthermore, the Great Pyramid exhibits mathematical and astronomical precision that suggests the builders had advanced knowledge far beyond what we typically associate with ancient civilizations. The dimensions of the pyramid are believed to encode mathematical constants, such as pi symbol, and the golden ratio, phi, which were supposedly unknown at the time. Additionally, the layout of the pyramids of Giza corresponds remarkably with the stars of Orion's belt, leading many to believe that their placement was deliberately aligned with celestial bodies. Was this simply a coincidence, or did the ancient Egyptians possess a deeper understanding of astronomy and mathematics than previously thought? The ventilation shafts within the Great Pyramid add another layer of intrigue. Unlike typical tombs, which were sealed off completely, the King's Chamber contains narrow shafts that align with specific stars. Some researchers argue that these shafts had religious significance, serving as passageways for the pharaoh's soul to travel to the heavens. Others suggest that they may have served a more practical function, such as regulating temperature within the pyramid. Whatever their purpose, their precise positioning adds yet another level of complexity to the engineering marvel that is the Great Pyramid. When we consider all these factors, the mathematical precision, the alignment with celestial bodies, the immense weight and size of the blocks, and the longevity of the structures, it becomes clear that the ancient Egyptians possessed knowledge and skills that rival even modern engineering capabilities. How they achieved such precision without advanced tools remains one of history's most perplexing questions, and the pyramids continue to be a source of wonder, debate, and admiration. The construction of the pyramids is one of the greatest unsolved mysteries in human history. For centuries, historians, engineers, and archaeologists have debated how ancient Egyptians managed to build such massive structures with the limited technology available to them over 4,500 years ago. Traditional theories suggest that a vast workforce used primitive tools, ramps, and sheer manpower to accomplish this monumental task. However, the precision, scale, and complexity of the pyramids have led some to question whether there were lost techniques or even undiscovered technologies that played a role. The ramp theory, the most widely accepted explanation. One of the most commonly accepted theories among Egyptologists is the use of a massive ramp system to transport and lift the heavy limestone and granite blocks. According to this theory, workers constructed large ramps made of mud brick, limestone, and clay to gradually elevate the stones to higher levels of the pyramid. There are different variations of this ramp theory. Straight ramp theory. A long, straight ramp extended from the base of the pyramid to its upper levels, allowing workers to drag stones upwards. However, critics argue that such a ramp would have required more material than the pyramid itself and would have been nearly impossible to construct and maintain. Zigzagging ramp theory. Some believe that ramps wrapped around the pyramid in a spiraling fashion, making it easier to transport stones without needing an excessively long structure. Internal ramp theory, a more recent theory, suggests that a series of hidden internal ramps within the pyramid itself may have been used to move stones. This idea gained attention after structural anomalies were detected inside the Great Pyramid, possibly indicating the remains of such a system. While the ramp theory is widely accepted, it does not explain everything. The precision with which the blocks were placed, the alignment with astronomical points, and the enormous weight of some of the granite blocks, especially those in the king's chamber, suggest that other methods might have been involved. Levers, pulleys, and counterweights. Did the Egyptians have simple machines? Some scholars believe that the ancient Egyptians may have used more advanced mechanical techniques than we usually credit them for. Simple machines such as levers and counterweights could have helped lift and position the heavy stones with greater ease. Though there is little direct evidence of pulleys or cranes being used in pyramid construction, the concept of counterweights, using heavy objects to balance and lift other objects, has been explored as a possible technique. A theory proposed by engineer Joseph Davidovits suggests that rather than moving large stones, the Egyptians may have poured a type of limestone concrete into molds, allowing them to cast blocks in place. If true, this would mean that the blocks were not carved and transported, but rather chemically manufactured using a lost technique. While this theory has gained some attention, there is still no definitive proof that the Egyptians used this method on a large scale. Water and buoyancy. Could the Nile have played a role? Another alternative theory suggests that the Egyptians may have used water to aid in the transportation and lifting of stones. Since the pyramids were built near the Nile River, some researchers propose that stones were floated on rafts through a network of canals and then maneuvered into place. There is evidence that canals existed around the pyramids, which may support this theory. Some even suggest that water could have been used as a lifting mechanism, where controlled flooding helped raise heavy stones to higher levels. Lost knowledge and advanced techniques. Did the ancients know more than we think? One of the more controversial theories is that the ancient Egyptians had access to an advanced understanding of physics, engineering, or even unknown technologies that allowed them to construct the pyramids with greater efficiency than we can currently explain. While there is no definitive evidence of sophisticated machinery, some believe that their knowledge of leverage, balance, and geometric principles was far more advanced than previously thought. The Greek historian Herodotus, writing around 450 BCE, claimed that the Egyptians used machines to lift the stones into place. Although his description is vague, some researchers speculate that he may have been referring to counterweight systems, wooden cranes, or even unknown mechanical devices. Others suggest that the Egyptians could have used sound vibrations, magnetism, or other natural forces in ways we do not yet understand. The workforce: slaves, skilled laborers, or something else. The traditional depiction of pyramid construction involves thousands of slaves toiling under brutal conditions. However, modern archaeology has largely debunked this myth. Excavations at Giza have revealed workers' villages, complete with bakeries, medical facilities, and living quarters, suggesting that many laborers were skilled craftsmen who worked under organized conditions. These workers were likely recruited from all over Egypt and may have worked in rotations, similar to a national workforce system. While much has been discovered about how the pyramids were built, many questions remain unanswered. The true nature of the construction process continues to be debated, and new discoveries may one day reveal secrets that have remained hidden for thousands of years. The construction of the pyramids was a massive undertaking, requiring extraordinary levels of planning, manpower, and resources. Even with modern machinery, building such colossal structures today would be a daunting task. Yet, the ancient Egyptians achieved this feat using what we assume were simple tools and techniques. The sheer scale of the project, the organization of labor, and the transportation of heavy stones across vast distances remain some of the biggest challenges that puzzle researchers. The immense size and weight of the stones. The Great Pyramid of Giza consists of approximately 2.3 million stone blocks, each weighing between 2.5 and 70 tons. Some of the heaviest blocks, used in the king's chamber, were made of granite and sourced from Aswan, nearly 500 miles away. Transporting and positioning these massive stones with perfect precision was no small task. Even if we assume that the Egyptians used wooden sleds, rollers, or primitive cranes, moving such enormous blocks would have required incredible amounts of effort, coordination, and innovation. One of the most debated aspects of pyramid construction is how these stones were lifted and placed at increasing heights. The pyramids rise at a steep angle, and constructing them required a method for elevating stones progressively higher as the structure grew. Theory suggests that ramps were built, but this presents additional challenges. How did they construct, maintain, and later remove these massive ramps without compromising the structure of the pyramid itself? The workforce. Who built the pyramids? For centuries, popular culture depicted the pyramid builders as slaves forced into labor under cruel conditions. However, modern archaeological evidence suggests a different story. Excavations near the pyramids have uncovered well-planned workers' villages, including bakeries, breweries, and medical facilities. These findings indicate that the labor force was likely made up of skilled workers, possibly farmers who participated in pyramid construction during the agricultural off-season. Historians estimate that around 20,000 to 30,000 workers were involved in the building of the Great Pyramid. Organizing such a workforce required an advanced understanding of logistics, food supply, and resource management. Workers needed shelter, food, tools, and medical care, all of which had to be provided on an immense scale. Managing this labor force efficiently suggests that the ancient Egyptians had a well-structured system, possibly akin to an early form of organized labor or a national workforce program. Transportation of stones. How were they moved? One of the biggest engineering challenges was transporting the massive stone blocks from quarries to the pyramid construction site. The limestone blocks used for most of the pyramid were quarried locally, but the granite blocks for the king's chamber had to be transported from Aswan, which was over 500 miles south of Giza. Without modern transportation methods, how did they accomplish this? One widely accepted theory is that the Egyptians used boats and the Nile River to move the heavy granite stones from Aswan to Giza. Archaeological discoveries support this idea. Ancient boat remains have been found near pyramid sites, and there is evidence that canals may have been constructed to aid transportation. For moving the stones on land, wooden sleds were likely used. Recent experiments suggest that pouring water onto the sand in front of a sled significantly reduces friction, making it easier to drag heavy loads. Ancient wall paintings depict laborers dragging statues and stones on sleds, with a worker pouring water in front of them. This simple yet effective method could have played a crucial role in moving the massive blocks to the construction site. Precision and alignment. Another challenge. Even if we accept that ramps, sleds, and boats were used to transport and lift the stones, another major challenge remains. How did they achieve such perfect alignment? The pyramids are positioned with remarkable accuracy, aligned almost perfectly with the cardinal directions, north, south, east, and west. The sides of the Great Pyramid are incredibly straight, with a margin of error of less than 1 degree. This level of precision suggests that the Egyptians possessed advanced surveying techniques. Some researchers believe they used tools such as sighting rods, plumb bobs, and leveling instruments to ensure accuracy. Others argue that they may have used celestial navigation, aligning the pyramids with the stars to achieve near-perfect orientation. Additionally, the interior chambers of the pyramids were constructed with extreme precision. The king's chamber, for example, is made of perfectly cut granite blocks that fit together so seamlessly that even a razor blade cannot slide between them. How the ancient builders achieved this level of accuracy without modern cutting tools remains an open question. The harsh desert environment and time constraints. Building the pyramids was not just about moving stones, it was also about doing so under harsh environmental conditions. The Egyptian desert is known for its extreme temperatures, with scorching heat during the day and cold nights. Workers had to endure these conditions while engaging in intense physical labor, often for years at a time. The construction also had to be completed within a reasonable time frame. A pharaoh's reign determined the length of pyramid construction, as these structures were meant to serve as their eternal resting place. Since most pharaohs ruled for only a few decades, the pyramid had to be built quickly. The Great Pyramid of Giza is believed to have been completed in about 20 years, which means that workers would have had to place roughly 12 blocks per hour, every hour, for the entire duration of construction. All of these challenges, transportation, precision, labor organization, and environmental factors, make the construction of the pyramids one of the greatest engineering feats in history. The construction of the pyramids is often attributed to simple tools, hard labor, and rudimentary engineering techniques. However, the more we study these magnificent structures, the more we realize that the ancient Egyptians may have possessed knowledge and skills far beyond what we traditionally assume. The precision, scale, and complexity of the pyramids suggest an advanced understanding of mathematics, physics, and construction techniques, perhaps even lost technologies that we have yet to rediscover. Mathematical and geometric precision beyond its time. One of the most fascinating aspects of the pyramids is their extraordinary mathematical precision. The Great Pyramid of Giza, for example, demonstrates an understanding of complex geometric and mathematical principles that were supposedly unknown at the time. The ratio of the pyramid's height to its base closely approximates the mathematical constant pi symbol, which is fundamental to circles and advanced geometry. Additionally, the pyramid's proportions align with the golden ratio, phi, a mathematical principle frequently found in nature, art, and architecture. How did the ancient Egyptians achieve such accuracy without advanced tools? Some theories suggest that they used a system of ropes, stakes, and sighting tools to measure angles and distances with extreme precision. Others believe that they may have had knowledge of more advanced mathematical principles that have been lost to time. The idea that they encoded complex mathematical relationships into their structures raises questions about how much they truly understood about the laws of physics and geometry. Astronomical alignments and celestial knowledge. The alignment of the pyramids with celestial bodies is another compelling mystery. The Great Pyramid is aligned almost perfectly with true north, a feat that would be difficult even with modern technology. Additionally, the 3 pyramids of Giza are positioned in a way that closely resembles the stars in Orion's belt, leading many to believe that their placement was intentional and guided by astronomical observations. The Egyptians were known to be skilled astronomers, but the level of precision seen in the pyramids suggests an even deeper understanding of celestial mechanics. Some researchers propose that the builders may have used the stars to align their structures, possibly through a method involving shadow tracking or water reflections. Others argue that the pyramids were constructed as part of a larger cosmic blueprint, designed to reflect the heavens on Earth. The ventilation shafts in the Great Pyramid further support this idea. These narrow passageways, which lead from the king's and queen's chambers to the exterior of the pyramid, are aligned with specific stars that were significant in ancient Egyptian mythology. Some believe that these shafts served as symbolic pathways for the pharaoh's soul to ascend to the afterlife, reinforcing the idea that the pyramids were deeply connected to celestial beliefs. The mystery of the granite blocks, cutting, transporting, and placing. The use of massive granite blocks, particularly in the king's chamber of the Great Pyramid, presents another challenge. These blocks, some weighing over 70 tons, were transported from Aswan, nearly 500 miles away. Moving such heavy stones across vast distances without modern cranes or transportation methods seems nearly impossible by today's standards. Equally perplexing is the method by which these stones were cut. The precision of the cuts and the smoothness of the surfaces suggest an advanced level of craftsmanship. Mainstream theories propose that the Egyptians used copper tools to carve the stone, but copper is far too soft to cut granite effectively. Some alternative theories suggest that they may have used a lost technique involving high-speed drills, abrasive sand, or even an unknown form of cutting technology. In recent years, researchers have speculated that the Egyptians might have used a technique involving high-frequency vibrations or sonic drilling to cut stone. Though no definitive evidence exists for this, the idea is intriguing because modern experiments have shown that sound waves can be used to manipulate and cut materials. If the ancient Egyptians had access to a similar technique, it would explain how they were able to achieve such smooth and precise cuts on extremely hard stone. Lost construction techniques. Did the Egyptians use concrete or cast stone? Another controversial theory suggests that the Egyptians did not transport and stack solid stone blocks but instead cast them in place using a form of ancient concrete. French materials scientist Joseph Davidovits has proposed that the limestone blocks were not quarried in the traditional sense, but were instead made from a mixture of limestone, water, and other binding agents, then molded into shape. This theory, if proven correct, would explain how the Egyptians achieved such uniformity in the blocks and how they were able to fit them together so seamlessly. It would also provide a plausible solution to the problem of moving and lifting massive stones. However, mainstream Egyptologists remain skeptical as no definitive evidence has been found to confirm the use of artificial stone. Ancient machines, levitations, and other theories. Some alternative researchers speculate that the Egyptians may have used advanced mechanical devices or even unknown energy-based technologies to aid in construction. The Greek historian Herodotus, writing centuries after the pyramids were built, claimed that the Egyptians used machines to lift the stones into place. While his description is vague, it has led to theories that they may have employed counterweights, levers, or even pulleys, though no such devices have been found in the archaeological record. More radical theories suggest that the Egyptians had knowledge of levitation, possibly using sound frequencies or magnetism to move heavy objects. While there is no direct evidence for this, some point to legends and ancient texts that describe the use of magic to lift heavy objects. In Tibetan tradition, for example, there are stories of monks using sound vibrations to move massive stones, a concept that has intrigued researchers studying the mysteries of pyramid construction. Conclusion: did the Egyptians have access to knowledge that has since been lost? Despite centuries of research, the construction of the pyramids remains one of history's greatest enigmas. The precision of their design, the alignment with celestial bodies, the advanced knowledge of mathematics and engineering, and the logistical challenges of moving massive stones all suggest that the ancient Egyptians may have possessed knowledge or techniques that we have yet to fully understand. Whether this knowledge was lost over time or deliberately hidden remains an open question. The Great Pyramid of Giza stands as a monument to ancient ingenuity, precision, and ambition. However, despite extensive research and countless theories, the exact methods of its construction remain unknown. The level of precision, the scale of the structure, and the knowledge encoded in its design have led some to speculate that the pyramids may have been influenced by something beyond conventional human capability. Could they have been the result of lost knowledge, an advanced prehistoric civilization, or even extraterrestrial influence? Theories of a lost advanced civilization. One of the more intriguing ideas suggests that the ancient Egyptians may have inherited knowledge from a lost, highly advanced civilization that predates recorded history. Some researchers argue that a technologically sophisticated society existed thousands of years before the traditional timeline of ancient Egypt, and that remnants of their knowledge were passed down to later civilizations. The idea of a lost civilization is often linked to the myth of Atlantis, described by the Greek philosopher Plato as an advanced society that disappeared under the sea. Some believe that survivors of such a lost culture could have migrated to Egypt and shared their technological and architectural knowledge, enabling the construction of the pyramids. Others propose that global catastrophes, such as massive floods or asteroid impacts, wiped out an advanced civilization, leaving only fragments of its wisdom that were later rediscovered and used by the Egyptians. Geological evidence suggests that parts of the Giza Plateau may have been exposed to heavy flooding in ancient times. Some researchers point to erosion patterns on the Sphinx and the pyramids that indicate prolonged exposure to water, possibly from the end of the last ice age around 12,000 years ago. If true, this could suggest that the structures, or at least their foundations, are far older than mainstream archaeology acknowledges. Extraterrestrial theories. Could the pyramids have an otherworldly connection? Another theory that has gained popularity suggests that the pyramids may have been influenced, or even built, by extraterrestrial beings. Proponents of this idea argue that the precision and complexity of the pyramids are beyond what ancient human civilizations should have been capable of achieving without advanced technology. One of the strongest points made by supporters of the extraterrestrial theory is the alignment of the pyramids with celestial bodies. The three main pyramids of Giza align with the stars of Orion's belt, a connection that some believe indicates knowledge of astronomy far ahead of its time. If the Egyptians had access to highly advanced knowledge, where did it come from? Some argue that such precise alignment suggests outside guidance, possibly from beings with an advanced understanding of the cosmos. Ancient Egyptian texts and artwork also contain references to gods who descended from the sky. Some researchers believe these descriptions may not be purely mythological, but could be interpretations of encounters with advanced beings. Certain hieroglyphs and carvings depict strange, humanoid figures with elongated heads, large eyes, and what some interpret as flying vehicles or spacecraft. While mainstream scholars argue that these depictions are purely symbolic or religious, alternative theorists suggest that they could represent real encounters with beings from beyond Earth. Additionally, the idea that the pyramids served a technological function has been explored by various researchers. Some claim that the pyramids were not just tombs, but may have functioned as energy-generating structures. Theorists like Christopher Dunn propose that the Great Pyramid could have been an ancient power plant, harnessing Earth's natural electromagnetic energy. The presence of quartz crystals in the limestone and the use of granite, which contains high amounts of quartz, could indicate that the structure was designed to conduct and amplify energy. Some even speculate that the shape of the pyramid itself may have had energetic or vibrational properties that we do not yet fully understand. The global pyramid phenomenon. Why do pyramids appear around the world? One of the biggest mysteries surrounding pyramids is why they appear in multiple ancient civilizations across the world, often with striking similarities. Egypt is not the only place where pyramids exist. Massive pyramid-like structures can be found in Mesoamerica, China, Indonesia, and even Bosnia. The pyramids of Mesoamerica, built by the Maya and Aztecs, share many characteristics with the Egyptian pyramids, including step-like designs, precise astronomical alignments, and religious significance. The pyramids in China, hidden beneath layers of soil and vegetation, also exhibit remarkable similarities to those in Egypt. This raises a crucial question. How did civilizations that were supposedly isolated from each other develop such similar architectural styles? Some researchers argue that this global pyramid phenomenon is evidence of a shared ancient knowledge that was passed between civilizations. Others suggest that all these cultures were influenced by the same external force, whether it be a lost civilization, extraterrestrials, or a deep, ancient understanding of universal energy principles. The debate between mainstream and alternative theories. While mainstream archaeologists reject the idea of extraterrestrial influence or lost civilizations, Alternative researchers argue that the traditional explanations for pyramid construction do not account for all the mysteries surrounding them. The lack of definitive evidence for ramps, the questionable effectiveness of copper tools, and the sheer impossibility of lifting multi-ton granite blocks with primitive techniques all leave room for alternative interpretations. Furthermore, the advanced understanding of astronomy, mathematics, and geophysics displayed in the pyramids raises the question of whether ancient civilizations possessed knowledge that was later lost or deliberately suppressed. If the Egyptians did not build the pyramids entirely on their own, then who or what helped them? The pyramids of Egypt continue to stand as an enduring enigma, a testament to the brilliance of ancient builders and the mysteries that still elude us. Whether they were the result of human ingenuity, lost knowledge, or something beyond our current understanding, their construction challenges everything we assume about ancient civilizations. Despite centuries of research, definitive answers remain elusive. Were the pyramids built solely with the primitive tools and techniques attributed to the Egyptians, or did they possess knowledge that has since been lost to time? Did an advanced civilization leave behind blueprints for their construction, or could they have been influenced by forces beyond our world? What is undeniable is that the pyramids were not just tombs, they were symbols of power, knowledge, and a deep connection to the cosmos. Their alignment with celestial bodies, mathematical precision, and sheer scale suggest a purpose greater than mere burial sites. The more we study them, the more they challenge our understanding of history, engineering, and human potential. As we continue to explore and uncover new evidence, one thing is certain: the mystery of the pyramids will continue to captivate, inspire, and provoke questions for generations to come. Perhaps one day, we will uncover the full truth, but until then, they remain one of the greatest wonders of the ancient world, standing silently as guardians of a past we have yet to fully understand.